Welcome everyone from Amsterdam. Thank you for joining this live webinar of Learn the Basics Rasterlink 6 Plus. First of all, we go to the agenda. My name is Mark Sollman, and with my colleague Pim de Vries, we are application specialists at Mimaki Europe. The agenda of today is first the housekeeping rules, then we have an introduction to Rasterlink, then some general Rasterlink functions, the special functions of roll-to-roll, the special functions of flatbed, some additional info, and the Q&A session. We got a lot of questions for a Rasterlink webinar, so this is the start and very basic. Please let us know what topics you would like to know better, so we know where and what to focus the next Rasterlink webinar. The housekeeping rules for today. All attendees are muted. This session will be recorded and later it can be downloaded from the website or we place it on YouTube. If you have any questions, send us a message using the GoToWebinar sidebar on the right side of your computer. The introduction of Rasterlink. Rasterlink is Mimaki's free software RIP delivered with most of its printers. It can also be downloaded from the Mimaki website. Although it is a free software, there is always an online license registration necessary. For some packages, a USB dongle is mandatory. Mimaki's benefit is that the software is an easy operation even for beginners. The primary task of a RIP, which stands for Raster Image Processor, is to convert the different formats of the file to be printed into data, which the printer understands as raster data. Rasterlink is continuously updated with new and improved functionalities, and we will discuss later how to update the program, profiles, and other functions. With Rasterlink, we cover the needs for all types of customers, as it is for UV flatbed, solvent roll-to-roll, print and cut, and textiles machine from Mimaki. If Rasterlink is installed on your computer, you will find from the Windows Start button the following apps. With the firmware update, you can check new firmware for your printers. With the License app, you can activate your Rasterlink 6 Plus license. On the license webpage, you can activate and deactivate a license due to maybe a broken or stolen PC. With the Mimaki Rasterlink 6 Plus app, you can run the program application. The Mimaki web server is to update all versions of the Rasterlink applications. On the Profile Manager, we can manage input and output profiles manually. And with the Profile Update app, we can download new and already updated profiles automatically. And last is the Program Update. You can download the latest version of the Rasterlink program. The manual from the Download Center. A Rasterlink reference guide, downloadable from the Mimaki site, gives a highly detailed explanation of all of its functionalities and features. It is recommended to have a look because all the functionalities are explained in detail. So next step are some general Rasterlink functions. I will give the microphone to Pim.
Thanks, Mark. For the general Rasterlink functions, we're gonna open the Rasterlink for the first time, and I'm going to show you how to add a printer and a short overview, and then Mark is going to explain how the toolbar works and the function tools on the right-hand side. So now going to Rasterlink. When you open Rasterlink for the first time, you see an empty screen with only some working disk information. At the top of the screen, you have a toolbar. Under environments, you can printer management, you can add a printer. Go to add. And then for this webinar, we're adding the roll-to-roll machine CJV 150 and the flatbed UV machine, the UGF 3042. Both are already connected to the computer with USB. The CJV has a color configuration with 8 colors. So we select it and Rasterlink automatically sees the ink set. And for this one, we're gonna give it a name CJV 150. Select it, press OK. I'm also going to add the UGF 3042 flatbed machine. Select it here. And it's also automatically recognized the LH100 ink set. So now we added 2 printers. The maximum number of printers you can set up in one software program is 4. So we can add 2 more, but not this time. Okay, now you have the overview. When you start, so all the information is on one screen. The condition of the printer and inks you can see on the left, the progress of ripping and the printing process. The job list and favorites can be seen from the middle, right here. When you open some files you want to print, you can see them all here in the middle screen. On the right side is the info panel where you can go inside to the function buttons that Mark is going to explain now. So I'll give the microphone back to Mark.
Thanks, Pim. If you can just open a file. So on the left side, we have the toolbar, which we can open and restore file, and we can exit the Rasterlink program. With the function, we can do shortcuts on all the function items, and with the tool, we can make color charts in RGB, CMYK, and a special color chart, and we can open a color collection. Color collections is with Pantone. We have SS21 metallic color, and you can add also a new color collection. This is quite handy because if you have a specific color from your customer, you can make your own color chart in LIB, CMYK, or even in a graduation. It's a quite handy tool. So from Rasterlink, we open the job, and now on the right side, in one screen, we have the function button, which first of all is the job properties. This will display all the job informations, and all the jobs will come in from here. The second one is the arrangement tool, which will imposition of multiple jobs. So you can open and select multiple jobs and add them here. From the quality button, we can select the color profiles, the ink setting, the resolution, passes, overprints, and on the right side we can change some color matching, ICC profiles, input, and image. The general print option sets the position and the number of copies of the image print. We can rotate, we can scale, we can arrange in center, we can add some crop marks, which Pim will explain later, and we can add some labels or some job information if your customer has some specific information, and we can add a cut line. With the execution, we can print, rip and print only, print and cut. With the special plate function, This creates the job dedicated for special color for the selected job. The function is only displayed with the printer with special ink setting. So silver, white, clear liquid. We can generate areas for whole image or for valid pixel, and we can automatically composite on the top or on the bottom. The composition button prints multiple jobs by overlapping them. This is only for the printer with special ink cartridges. The layer edit, which we come back later, this will sets the layer print, also only for the printer with special ink cartridge. The next is the color replacement button. Here we can set the color replacement, look for Pantone colors, color matching, easily change colors. The duplication is duplication including the ripped data, and we can restore and backup a job. So for the next one, special functions roll to roll, I'll give the microphone to Pim.
Thanks, Mark, for the basic functions. Now going over to the special functions with a roll-to-roll machine. We're going to talk about printing and cutting. This is for example, stickers. After that, going for tiling. It's separating a big image in smaller tiles. Step and repeat is creating patterns or using a pattern and repeat the pattern for example wallpaper or dresses. And after that we're going to talk about the color management. So now we're going to Illustrator. In Illustrator I made a file, a color file. We're going to create a sticker with this. I made a cutting line, so you can see first it's going to print the color, and then the cutting line is created with the Rasterlink tool. It's a plugin in Illustrator. Select the line and make it a cutting line, and then the line will have a spot color cut contour that Rasterlink automatically recognize for cut contour. So it's not going to be printed, but it's going to be a cutting line, so the machine knows where to cut. As you can see here, when you open that file, you have the image with a red cutting line. And like I said, it's not going to be printed. In the general print tab, you see the width of your roll. So this is your working area. On the left, you can scale your image bigger or smaller. The cutting line will also scale with the image, so there is no difference. Also, you can rotate it again as you wish, place it in the middle or scoop it wherever you want. Create multiple copies, creating crop marks around it so the printer knows exactly where he has to cut the image. And after that, you can select the right profile with the right media and resolution with some color matching. Then in the execution tab, select print and cut, and then rip and print. So it's going to be printed first, and then pull back the media and reading the crop marks and start cutting. So now for the tiling, I will give the microphone back to Mark.
So thank you, Pim. So the next topic we would like to discuss is tiling. We will open a pattern. Tiling is a very handy function if you need to print large panels for wallpaper or, for example, on a side of a truck. So the tiling, we need to open tiling. I will make the image a little bit bigger. So it's 2m10 by 2m10 now. We can still even rotate and we can mirror. If you need to do it for sublimation or the heat press, we can divide the tiles and apply to all tiles, or we can even select which tile we need to have in which kind of size. On the tiles, we can also select the overlap on the front, the bottom, left, and the right side. So I will now selecting 10 millimeters on the left side. We can print the corner mark. We can print overlap line. We can even print a cut line. If you have an image which has a lot of white, you can see the cut line. And we can print a tile number, which is easily if you would like to finish your tiles. We can select the print order from which part you would like to start and end. And we can select the tiles, which tiles we only would like to print. From the layout, tool, we can now see what is the nesting size. We can do the reverse. So this is if you would like to have the left and the right side exactly the same. We can even do free location. Then you can select your own. Arrange in the center, and we can add a Photoba cut mark if you would like to finish with a Photoba machine when the print has been finished. So this was the tiling, a very, very handy function. Next function is the step and repeat. The step and repeat function has been used a lot for textile printing. So we can select the size. Let's make this one 80%. And we can do the number of pieces on the left side. And you will see here what kind of length it will be printed. If you would like to do this for textile, we will reverse it. And we can do it several types. We can do vertical, we can do sticker print, horizontal. The size can be in length or in number of pieces. And even with this, you can print an information label, which will be printed on the end of your image. So a very, very handy tool. Okay, next function we will discuss is the color management. So we opened a color. Pim created this color with two Pantone colors, the 144 and the 7726. So with the blink indication, you can easily see which color has been made. We can replace this color, and Rasterlink will find that it is a Pantone color because the color chart is inside, and we can see the delta E difference. So if we do apply, we see that the delta E difference with this profile is delta E 8.46, which is quite a lot, but it's orange, and we do not have, for example, now SS21 orange inside. Normally, if it's the delta E is below 2, it's not visible with your human eyes, but delta E8 is quite a lot. So that's the Pantone chart. We can also replace colors. So we can change the LEBs values, and we can apply it, and we can export to a color collection and import from a color collection. So let's see if we have the Pantone solid coated, and I will open it. So now it is easily changed to a yellow color, and with the blink indication we see which color will be changed. So this can be done for spot color, CMYK, and even for graduation. So if you have one color, a graduation, we can easily change it. So this was the special color function. Now Pim will explain something about the special Rasterlink functions for the flatbed.
Okay, for the special functions flatbed, we're going to talk about special plate. So creating spot color, using the spot color and the white colors, and creating a jig print to show you how to print on multiple objects with the same or different images. So for the special plate, we're going back to Illustrator. We're not going to use the cut layer now. We're going to use the same image, the color image. Underneath that, I created a white layer. So this one we're going to be color replace by special plate to a white ink. And the clear, as you can see, the liquid is going to be glossy. So I saved this files all three separate. Going to open it in Rasterlink. The color image is already loaded, so the only thing I need to do is select the clear and the white layers. Okay, all files are loaded. The clear image, we're going to special plate. Select this. We want to replace the image with clear ink. Put it on 100%. When we do a whole image, as you can see, the whole image is going to be clear. That's not what we want. So we're going to delete that. We're going to select the clear, the valid pixel. So only the pixel information that Rasterlink can see will be replaced for a clear ink. It's creating a clear layer. So the color layer we loaded in can be deleted because we're not going to use that one. For the white, we do exactly the same, only then select the white ink. Depending on the material and the thickness of the ink, you can change the percentage. For now, we're going to use it 100%, but if ink is too thick, you can make it 80 or 70, whatever the best result will be. Also here, we're going to use the valid pixel and create it. The color layer we can delete again. Okay, so now we have a color layer, a clear layer, and a white layer. With the composition tab, going to select, we can arrange the files and the layers. In this way, you can see how or what layer will be printed first. So we want the clear on top for the glossy. We're going to change it to glossy in a moment. The white layer needs to be under the color layer, so we just drag it under the color layer. So this is the arrangement we want to use. Create composite. It's automatically give us a warning for make sure the same profiles are selected. So now we have one job that's arranged. For the clear, we can make it in the properties tab. Can use the special color, select setup, UV mode, and make it glossy. So now it's all correct. So when the job is set correctly, we can also go to the layer adjust. There you can select the white layer and shrink the white a bit so it's not going to be visible underneath the color layer. So, but it's also possible to make it bigger if you want, depending on your application, but you can play with it. After that, we're going to make a jig print. Jig print is, for instance, printing on notebooks or lighters, phone cases, whatever you want. To make a jig, create a jig print, just select, you have your job selected. We're gonna make a new one, call it phone case. Now we have the jig information. First, the jig size. The size of our table is 30 centimeters by 42 centimeters. So we're going to use that. The position on the 0 point of the table is right here. Our material, what's the size of a phone case? Let's do 5 centimeters, so 50 millimeters by 100 millimeters. That's the phone case. Then put this all on one, so it's easy to look. So this is your phone case. After that, we're going to set up how much phone cases do you want to print on one table. We can print now, put it on 3 with an interval of 5 millimeters. So our phone case is 50 millimeters, and the space between the phones we want to have 5 millimeters. So put it on 55 millimeters. Then we can add more phones on the table. Also the height, 5 millimeters in between, is 105 millimeters. And put an extra row, and then we have 10. The first position of the first jig, selected jig, is we can put it on 10 millimeters from the side and from the bottom. Now we have 10 phones. The artwork will be aligned in the middle, in the center of the image. And if you can see the jig layout, it's way too big. We can scale it down till it fits. Maybe 25% is okay. Then the number of copies, we have 10 phones on the table. So now we put 10 copies of the image. You can also rotate the image. If you want to make the jig, so you can set up the jig in Rasterlink, but the jig is not made yet. Before, for instance, you have a laser cutting machine, then you can make the jig with this alignments and specifications. You can save the jig to a PDF file, and then you can, I'll put it on my desktop, and then you can open your jig and it's created a PDF file which you can open in Acrobat or Illustrator, whatever, to get the right dimensions of your jig and the right specification. So then you can create your own jig. Okay, these were the basic Rasterlink items. I will now give the word back to Mark.
Thanks, Pim, for your explanation. So this was the first basic Rasterlink webinar, as we mentioned. We would like to hear from you what kind of topics and issues we can discuss the next webinar. So please let us know what you would like to know from us and what can we discuss the next time. So some useful information. You will all receive in your inbox your thank you email plus the recordings of this session. You can download our Rasterlink manual via your GoToWebinar window or visit mimakieurope.com. If you want to get in touch or have some questions, send us an email via webinar@imea.mimaki.com or let us know via our survey, which you receive immediately after this webinar. The next, we will go to our Q&A session. So there are a lot of questions. Let's start. We will answer as many questions as we would see, but if not, we will come back to later in a private mode. First of all, David, what is the difference between immediate print and rip and print? David, immediate print performs simultaneously with rip processing. We always recommend to rip and print, especially when you use different jobs, and it is always recommended to rip and print. Next one is from Elena. Where can I find how much ink is consumed in an image? Or Pim, if you can go to the Rasterlink, yeah. So we can see the ink consumption from the environment. So if you go to option and job control, you can calculate ink consumption. And when the image is ripped, you will see, so rip only, image. If the image is ripped, you can see here the ink consumption. So the results and the ink consumption you will see, and this is the total ink consumption, and also all the ink will be mentioned ink by ink. Another question from Robert. What is delta E? Delta E is a metric for understanding color difference. Delta E is a single number that represents the distance between different kinds of colors. The idea with delta E is that 0 is the smallest the human eye cannot see, and above delta E2 it is visible with a new human eye, and below not. So delta E is the difference between colors.
And we also had a question where it is mentioned which printer we are working on. When you have in the environments, the printer management, you can see your two printers we've added. And in the bottom of the screen right here, you can see the tops of the two printers we are using and which are installed.
Okay. Next question about, is there a fast way to check if you are printing the correct profile and match colors? That's a good question. We have a very nice tool inside Rasterlink. So we can specify device profile. So if you have downloaded diverse profiles from the website or created by themselves, if you have the image and you specify device profile and you check the matching of device profiles. So for now, we only have one profile installed, but then you see all the profiles installed and you can do an execute job. So within a few minutes, you will execute that job in all the profiles you have registered. It's a very, very handy tool. Also in the diverse resolutions and passes. Next question. We see a few questions with PDF and output, and we will do that in private mode because we have to go further in it. And we have a questions for the SWJ. How to print twin rolls at the same time in SWJ. Okay, we didn't install yet SWJ here, but if you install the SWJ from the printer management, and you open a job and your machine will measure twin job from the machine, the RIP will automatically see that it's a twin job. So you can load your image into. Pim, one more question.
We have a question where I see which profiles work for which dedicated media. In the profile update program, which is installed with Rasterlink, you can see all media for the machine and inks that are made for that media. So it's all, most of them are branded. So there you can check which profile suited best for which media. I recommend just test different profiles for the best media. You can also do a test in Rasterlink when you printed multiple profiles with the same resolution. So right here we have 2 profiles, and you can select all profiles with the same resolution and print it next to each other, so you can check the best quality suited for your job.
Okay, hi. How can we create ICC profile with? How can we create ICC profiles? From Adrian. Yeah, we have a separate program which is npm free. So this is to create ICC profiles and input profiles for a Mimaki. So this cannot be done with Rasterlink. Rasterlink is a free software, and so with npm free we can make profiles.
We have a question, does Rasterlink work on a Mac? No, unfortunately not. Except when you installed Windows on your Mac, it's possible through Parallels, but no, not on a Mac.
Okay, we thank you all. There are a lot of questions. We will answer them later and all. So thank you for joining. Do not forget to fill in the survey, and we would like to know from you all what would be the next topics on our webinar. And thank you for your time, and enjoy your day, and hope to see you soon.
Thanks. Stay safe.